First and foremost, free up me blood clot Don. Now before we talk about the brand new X-rated EP that was just released with no promotion, let's talk about the extensive discography of the living legend Vybz Kartel, beginning with his first album, Up to the Time, released on October 28th, 2003. This album featured songs like Bad Man Party, Sweet to the Belly,
it's sweet to the belly, squeeze up the breast like jelly, no Shelly.
and New Millennium featuring Wayne Marshall. On the 18-track classic that introduced the king of dancehall to the world. This album was said by many to be the most progressive album Jamaica had ever heard at the time. Cartel would follow up with the album Timeless, released on February 23rd, 2004, featuring songs like Gal Catalog, Mass Automatic featuring Bounty Killer, and How We Roll.
From we push the club door, bombs away, party like a holiday. Jersey out, but me no play. This is not the NBA.
On the 17-track masterpiece that would let the dancehall world know he was a force to be reckoned with. Also released in 2004 was what I would call a deluxe album, aptly named More Up to the Time, showing that Cartel had no intentions of slowing down. This re-release of his first album added 5 new tracks that were certified hits on the island, like Picture This,
Picture me and you and me, K-I-S-S-I-N-G. Then picture me and you under the tree, F-U-C-K-I-N-G.
Take Buddy Gal,
Take body girl, you think me easy? Who you ramping? You want it easy? Take me things on, you take my money too. So take body too, take body too.
and Breast Specialist featuring Beanie Man.
Picture this, breast specialist. Have you 2 nipple them in a hand and them turn and twist. Come on, swing from a thing like whiz.
These added songs to the already classic first album helped to put his name in the same ring with some of the dancehall greats of the time. Cartel, who apparently has an affinity for time, released the album JMT, or Jamaican Mean Time, on November 15th in 2005, letting all competition know he was not taking his foot off the gas pedal. Featuring songs like Go Feed Them,
Start it if you want start it. For me no do it past street. Me a come for you where you eat and sleep.
Emergency,
Emergency, we are stuff around here. Round here, man, again. Stuff around here.
and Gun Session, which was the first song I ever heard from Cartel.
Budubai, 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 burn him. If you're this bad man, your skin, burn him.
Among others on the 20-track album. At this point, his music was outgrowing the island and landing in the ears of foreigners all over the world with the help of the internet. Adi then took a brief hiatus from album releases to focus on becoming a businessman, as well as growing his Portmore empire after leaving the Alliance, but he was still always putting out music. On November 18th, 2008, he returned in triumphant fashion with the album The Teacher's Back, featuring songs like Court Case,
Voting session, clock a quote, say in a second, judge appearing. Judge appear and start the hearing. Bible rise, people swearing.
Solomonic Chronic,
Blue panic, hydraulic, sting like it Titanic. Jewish and Catholic, say me habit moronic.
and Money Fi Spend.
Me nah run down war. Me want couple car, couple house with a pool and a bar.
On the 25-track album, made up of street anthems, war songs, girl songs, weed songs, and reality songs, and skits. On May 26, 2009, World Boss dropped the album titled The Most Wanted, which was basically a greatest hits album to get new fans initiated with some of his older timeless hits. This 12-track album also featured some new songs like Brooklyn Anthem,
We gon' dig a Brooklyn, Brooklyn. Real bad man, they are Brooklyn, Brooklyn.
Street Pharmacist,
Hey, New York, we sell drugs like the pharmacy. Needle and syringe like the pharmacy.
and Sunrise, featuring his Alliance friend turned foe, Mavado.
Put more to Gaza for peace. Oh, you see this one, right? AKs are 45.
Also in 2009, on September 1st, Vybz dropped the unforgettable Pondy Gaza album, featuring songs like You Want Me Baby,
You want me baby, shift your banky partially, wind the cocky with authority.
Life We Living,
Tell me how me youth fi survive.
and Rompin' Shop, featuring the soon-to-be queen of dancehall Spice.
Me cocky longer than me Nike. Tell me what you like. You want me try or you want to ride it like a bike?
This 22-track album cemented his status as a heavyweight in the dancehall scene. The Pondy Gaza album was buzzing on the island and internationally, but on February 26, 2010, he put out Pondy Gaza 2.0, and in my humble opinion, this album was a game changer. This double album had 45 songs on it, and not one of them was considered skippable in my mind. Pondy Gaza 2.0 has songs like Clark's,
When you get the new clocks, the daddy. I wish color that, daddy no party.
Bicycle,
Move your clothes and fuck on the line, but me no want a boring grind. No, me no want a boring wine.
and Dollar Sign.
Anyway you see me at any given time, mine for my money and my money for my mind.
It actually had so many memorable songs on it that it was tough for me to pick just 3 to showcase for this video. On August 14th, 2011, just 1 month before Cartel was arrested for marijuana possession and later charged with murder, Cartel released arguably his greatest work of the time, the album Kingston Story, produced entirely by Dresko. This album revolutionized Jamaican music in form and format, featuring songs like My Crew,
Inna the glow, everybody yard, champagne a bar, in the street car.
Push It In,
She said push it in, take it down, push it in, push it in, take it out, push it in.
and Your Love.
Anytime I gone where she miss me, she said the love she offer me is a mystery.
This album helped to further Cartel's already legendary status. While still locked up and awaiting the verdict for his murder charge, Cartel put out a book and a soundtrack to accompany it. The Voice of the Jamaican Ghetto, Incarcerated But Not Silence, dropped on July 7, 2013, featuring songs like Bad Reputation,
Get to you tribulation, we get a bad reputation, but me not stop hustle for the paper.
Thank You Ja,
Thank you, Jamie, wake up this morning, roll out the earth before me start yawning.
and Life We Living.
Me have to hide from the landlord, because me owe about 4 months rent.
This book and soundtrack was so powerful, it almost put Vybz Kartel at martyr status. His legend was now growing far beyond just the music. Also in 2013, on October 15th, Cartel released the Cartel Forever Trilogy, a 3-disc, 66-song album featuring songs like The Lyricist,
Cock up your nose for the sting crime of the king time. Me wicked like St. James and Kingston and St. Catherine crime.
Freaky Gal Part 2,
Hey girl, your pussy tight down. Me want to strip your clothes right down. Me love the way you look like how, like say you woulda suck a cocky right now.
and Mr. Bleach In.
Some British money, some US money, some say I money, some Euro money.
The Cartel Forever Trilogy had too many great songs on it to list, and proved that Cartel's music was bigger than any prison sentence. He was the greatest dancehall artist Jamaica had ever seen. On June 3rd, 2014, from behind bars, Adi the Innocent released the album Reggae Love Songs and Other Things. This album had classics like Louis V,
This a one ya is G-rated, and the grabber too hot it can't do without blame.
Without Money,
Without money, no gold can buy a company, no.
and Downtown Kingston,
You want get seal, come round here. You want do your ear, come round here.
but would be overshadowed by the grief that Cartel fans felt because their artist was sentenced to life imprisonment that same year. Viking Vibes is King was released on January 13th, 2015, and had fans really wondering if Cartel was recording music behind bars or was just such a workhorse when he was free that he had this many unreleased songs. The album had amazing songs like Unstoppable,
From me a little youth, me tell myself me have a plan. Me want famous like Ninja Man.
Dancehall,
Billy Bounce, yeah. Every bad man and every dog, yeah.
and Gon' Get Better. At this point in his career, he was truly unstoppable. On June 10th, 2016, the reigning king of dancehall released the album named King of the Dancehall, featuring some of his biggest songs ever created, like Fever
XOXO, my love is very special.
and Coloring This Life.
Hey girl, you that do look good at where you did. Girl, one them ever unique.
This album confirmed that the musical genre, dancehall, was locked away in prison with the king. From 2016 up until 2020 was the longest the public had went without a Vybz Kartel album. In between that time, I created my channel breaking down Vybz Kartel songs to the patois illiterate, and the king was releasing some music but no albums, while fighting for his first in a series of still ongoing appeals. January 10th, 2020, Vybz Kartel dropped the groundbreaking album titled To Tanisha, which was an album that truly displayed his growth as a human being. This album featured songs like Then You and Me,
So you got out of your way for hurt me, and me got out of my way for hurt you.
Rocket to the Moon,
Even though you broke me heart like a CD, a bag of woman still a bubble to me tune.
and Cast Iron Heart featuring Jada Kingdom.
See you for the last time. You got a heart made of cast iron.
The album was a dedication to the mother of 3 of his children, Tanisha, affectionately known as Shorty, and was a completely unexpected change of pace for the king of dancehall. That same year, on June 26, 2020, World Boss released the album called Of Dawns Divas, and the Gaza fans believed this album should have been nominated for a Grammy. The album featured songs like Cute Rider,
Ever since I met you, everything is so perfect.
No Prison,
Ain't no prison can hold up. Mountains we climb over.
and Presidential featuring Daddy One and Sicker Rhymes.
I order the president of the VP, Gaza we represent.
Of Dawns Divas was filled with collaborations with some of the best artists on the island and really proved how much the king cared about the future of the dancehall genre. I just listed all the Vybz Kartel albums in chronological order, but that was just the albums. There's so much more, my friends. The king of dancehall also has an insane amount of singles, a countless amount of mixtape appearances, and over 20 EPs, 2 of which were released in 2021. The Dancehall Royalty EP featuring his sons Lickle Vibes and Lickle Adi of UTG respectively, and the X-Rated EP released just a few days before I made this video, so you better go listen to it. I doubt in the history of all music will you ever find someone that created this much music all the while remaining the #1 artist in his genre while simultaneously being locked in prison for almost half of his career. Vybz Kartel has a story like no other and a fan base that is pretty much fanatical. He is the undisputed king of dancehall, and his reign, honestly, might be unstoppable. Big up yourself if you made it to the end of this video. If you like the shirt I was wearing, it's designed by me. You can go buy it at my merch store. The link's in the description below, and you should see the merch store under the video that you just watched. Bless.